man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon.
Man, I'm here with my man with Hoop Jargon, the best in the game, man. And you know I only let selected few in my circle. And this is the real dude right here. We gonna get down with the get down.
What up, everybody? Your boy Hoop Jargon back with a show. It's gonna go down, man. And y'all see the title. Y'all know what's going on. And I got to start there with my guy Project Pat, because it looked like Michael Jordan trying to save Westbrook. So it's a song. Y'all remember this from the 90s. I know y'all remember this one. Don't save him, Jordan. You don't want to be saved, man. Don't save him. I know y'all remember that, Project Pat. All my people from the South, y'all may remember that. But, I got a special guest with me, too, man. It's been a while. We come a long way from making streams on, what was that, Skype?
Yep.
Doing live shows, man. My boy DJ in the building.
Recording them and putting it as a regular video. And, man, them hustle YouTube years, man.
You talking about struggle streaming, boy. Y'all go look at them old videos, man. Those things was, whew, Lord have mercy. DJ, man. What's up, man?
Hey, Hoop. My older videos, the one I should have never deleted them, because remember there was a time when I stopped doing YouTube. Mm-hmm. They were the most raw, unfiltered sports videos around.
Absolutely. That's why I came around to your show. I was less like, I didn't know you from a can of paint, but I was like, man, this dude right here on it, man, with the baritone voice, he get it in.
And I ain't trying to brag, we keeping it real. This is Hoop Jargon. You know how you roll.
Absolutely.
But I feel like a lot of channels grew because of my channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody was doing that format.
Yeah. It was a good rubric to at the time. And so everybody don't know, now in the StreamYard era, everybody can kind of just do, put magic together and use this great platform or other hybrids of StreamYard. But back then, you had to pre-record it, and you had to find a way to pre-record it, man. It was rough, dog. It was rough. It was rough. 2020, it was rough, man.
Early it was.
Yeah, man. So shout out to the early birds. Oh, go ahead, DJ. What you got?
But brother, I just want to say, man, I'm so excited for this topic, because I hope this is not true. And we know MJ is a talented player. He was once a talented player, greatest player of all time. But as the GM, as an owner, very questionable. And I don't know what type of cigar he is smoking. Maybe he put some crack in it. I don't know. But if he ever thinks about doing this decision, this will be the worst move of his career.
It really would. And I'm going to lay it out now. I do have a counter argument, and we'll get there when we get there. But shout out to the early birds in the building, Tomorrow Leader Sports Network. Margarita Daniel in the building. She says, good day to you all. Love all the time. I'm here to listen. Absolutely. Andrew in the building. Well, he's not trolling me when I'm playing Madden, my boy out here. So he say he's trying to sabotage Melo. Man, that ship has sailed a long time ago, buddy. Between the Game Sports says, y'all not understand the interest from the Hornets. Yes, and we're going to talk about that. And as DJ said, man, in my opinion, this is going to be one of the worst things that Michael Jordan could ever do. And let me start it this way. What we're talking about is not conjecture, because those internet memes can turn into rumors, was turned into discussion points. And I try to stay north or south of those. I don't really like to, delve into those kind of things, because you're talking about a whole bunch of nothing, in my opinion. But y'all know Mark Stein, right? Mark Stein's a credible guy, right? He has it out. You see his name right there. It says Mark Stein of Substack Reports. I think he used to be with ESPN, right? DJ?
Yeah, he used to be with ESPN.
Yeah, he used to be with ESPN. So we're talking about a credible sports writer here, right? He reports that several teams believe that Charlotte Hornets could pull the trigger on a trade for Russell Westbrook. So this is on SI.com, Sports Illustrated. So this is not, some internet meme that just cycled and recycled and you saw it on the ground. You feel me? So
Yeah.
they said Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier are some of the pieces that they're talking about. And I know Charlotte fans, we'll get into that, DJ. I know you got your ears to the street with Charlotte fans. And I understand that you want to probably get rid of those two, but not for this dude. I'm sorry. Whatever you thought problems you had with Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier, oh my God. Y'all don't know problems until y'all had the Westbrook experience. How did that know? How I know that? I happen to be a a Lakers fan, and I said off rip, I like, it's not going to work. We need to definitely move him under Russell Westbrook. And I've made 5-6 videos chronicling shit for about 2 years. So you can't say I'm Johnny come late. But anywho, DJ.
No, you've
What you
been
got
saying it.
What you got for me, man?
And matter of fact, not only have you said it, you've had backlash from Russell Westbrook fans.
Absolutely.
And now that you see what the Lakers have become, and I'm not going to just say it's his fault, but he did not match with that team, what they needed. He was
Absolutely.
inefficient. And if you're thinking about adding him with LaMelo Ball, that's disastrous. How's that going to help with his development?
Yeah. I'm with you all the time. And like I said, man, my first sport I played, shout out to E-Black TV in the building. Boy, E-Black TV channel been on fire, boy. You taking that beef lane. But my guy, you got it on fire over there, man. Salute to you, bro. My first sport I played was baseball. And when the number one rule of baseball was keep your eye on the ball. Jordan, keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the dang ball, man. What are you doing? Like, see, I don't want to give you too much too quick because we're going to break down why this is just such a bad decision from a developmental standpoint with bringing a guy like Russell Westbrook in. And it's funny you mentioned about that he's not the only problem. But when you go to these sports outlets, again, something I said already, so it's like I'm almost tired of picking on Russell Westbrook because I've been saying this when he was 3 teams ago, that he's a cancer. You're not going to win with him. He's a loser. And I'm not saying that man ain't great. I'm not saying that man won't, go into the Hall of Fame, but, it is what it is. So this is front row page of the ESPN site saying that Russell Westbrook was doomed from the start. And they were saying egos, turmoil, seemed like nothing could go right for Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and the other Lakers. So it's funny they start with Russell Westbrook, meaning they want to put that subliminally in your head that is more of his fault. So again, I'm not saying it ain't mostly his fault, but it's just, everybody's starting to catch up to speed to some of your boy Hoop been giving you for about 2 years. So it's just funny to see, man. And why for the life of me why would Michael Jordan want to bring that over to his team? Because if we're being honest, DJ, this man has been on 4 teams in 4 years. Have any of those situations he left been better, or did he make any of them better while he was there with Oklahoma City? Let's revisit. When he left, who went to Oklahoma City, DJ?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
And
the
they
team
went
get
to the
better
playoffs. And they weren't even expected to go to the playoffs that year.
Exactly. When he left Houston, did Houston get better or worse?
Better.
They got better in the sense that you had to blow it up and start over. Because if you remember, James Harden kind of pushed his way out after Westbrook did. But when he came there, he's supposed to be the caveat to take that team over the top. They got out in the second round. He goes to the Wizards. He came to the Wizards, a big deal. I told people you're gonna see the same exact thing. The Wizards do anything that year?
No.
They went to the play-in game, barely got into the play-in game and did nothing. Then, okay, well, he needs a new start. He's gonna come home to the Lakers. Your boy Hoop Jargon told you. I was like, I think it's part 3 of my series. Is Russell Westbrook done? I was like, it is not going to work. And shout out to Between the Game Sports. He was on the stream with me. We was like, it is not going to work. DJ, this season work out?
No.
Okay.
And I had to point this out. I wouldn't necessarily call Westbrook a loser because he has won an MVP and he's taken teams into playoffs. What I had to call it is the brother right now is in the upper room. He's in the upper room, brother, man. He got to come home to Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I saw enough this year, and I'm sure he's a good brother and hope all is well. But we're talking about basketball. So you got to check the feelings out the door.
There you go.
Westbrook to Charlotte would be a horrible idea. And if I'm LaMelo Ball, if this is ever true, I'm speaking with my agent and saying, what the hell is going on? If this is true, I can't say if it's true or not. But Mark Stein is pretty credible, but for some reason, I'm just hoping it's not true.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. When I say he's a loser, I don't mean in a sense that he can't win basketball games. What I mean by that is the level of player that he is, which is an MVP caliber player when he's at his top. He's not going to win you a championship because, in my opinion, his style of play and his IQ is too low for a team dynamic to overcome a team in 7 games. And we've seen that many times over, losing to Jazz, losing to the Jazz again after Rubio left, losing to Dame Lillard. When it's crucial, he thinks he can outperform people athletically when your cerebral cortex needs to kick in and you got to start out thinking people. And to me, Russell Westbrook has never shown me he could do that. And it's too late now. He's 33 now. Like you said, he in the upper room. It's too late now, man. Like you're not going, what you going to do now that's different? You feel me? What you going to do now? So, and again, like with the Lakers situation, I foresaw this. And then that's what my whole thing was like, what is he going to do? He has to play off ball. Speaking of ball, keep an eye on the ball. So when you playing, let's just say hypothetically this happens. How does this work with LaMelo Ball, who obviously is your future to your program? How could this possibly even work on the court, man?
It'd be catastrophic. And also, shout out to Macrina, Daniel, HL Kid, my dog, King
Yes,
C, J Boy, Between the Game Sports. Subscribe to his channel, Small Leader Sports Network.
I can't see his comment.
Who's comment?
HL Kid? I can't see his comment.
Oh, he just commented. I see it. He said,
oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. But that is just it won't work. I tell you right now, if LaMelo Ball and Westbrook is on the same team, there will be the most inefficient backcourt in the NBA. It will not work at all.
Yeah.
And you don't want that for. See, I've always said this.
Okay.
Here's the thing that the Hornets need to be working on. They need to look themselves in the mirror. They need to get a legitimate 7-footer who can clog up space and can catch the damn ball for once. They need an actual 2-guard who is a 3-and-D player that's not so iso ball centric and that wants to play the right way, that can shoot when he's open and play legitimate defense. They also need a facilitating point guard. So if LaMelo's on the bench, he's trying to run the system the right way and provides good depth. That's what they need. Russell Westbrook is not a good fit, and it's a mockery to basketball analytics. That's not the team for him. Maybe he could go back to OKC. Maybe he could go somewhere else, but not with that team.
Well, and DJ, we've been saying this for a while, man. Defined roles is what Charlotte Hornets need, especially at that 2-guard position. So successful teams know what they are, know what they do, and it's it's not this amoeba like let's figure it out on the fly situation, because at some point you got to go to what you know. How do we know this? Look at the top of the West. You got the Phoenix Suns with defined roles down from top to bottom, right? Look who's been working in Golden State for a long time now. Defined roles from top to bottom. Let's go even the Grizzlies. Defined roles from top to the bottom. So I don't understand why teams try to recreate the wheel when it's shown that it does not work. When the Bucks got dominant, they start getting those defined roles. And that's more or less. Now, I understand you can get a lot of points playing just up and down and kind of letting guys just fill in the spaces in the court. But when it's time to win, when you have to execute, like my guy E Black was saying about when you have to half court execute, you got to have people knowing where they're supposed to be, and you have to execute at a high level if you want a high level of success. And in my opinion, when has Russell Westbrook ever gave that?
Never. And I had to call this out. I had to call out Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
I was watching Undisputed before I came on this show, Hoop Jargon. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I was listening to Shannon Sharp, and you could tell he wasn't watching the Hornets. I think he just wanted Westbrook out. That's why he said, "Man, I think Charlotte will be a good situation. Him and Westbrook, him and LaMelo, man, they'll get somebody that almost averaged 20 points per game." Now he's talking up Westbrook because he just
Yeah.
wants him out of there. Come on, Shannon Sharp. And then Shannon Sharp said that Terry Rozier will be a good trade match because he plays defense. Have you watched the Hornets this year? If Terry Rozier is not getting the shots, he's not defending.
It's always been him.
Yeah. I swear, these analysts do not watch sports. Not all, but a lot of them don't watch sports.
Well, here's the thing. Shannon Sharp is like, he's a dude, he could never play poker because he always reveals his hand.
Right.
He's not a good guy disguising his ulterior motives. So, as you know, we all know that he's a LeBron James fanboy. It is what it is. And he's probably, excuse me, not only a fanboy, he's probably a media plant for LeBron James, if we're being honest. Meaning Clutch Sports, laces him up a little bit. And or that the fact that he has such a great relationship with them, he's scared to say anything counter to them because they treat him so well. That is a thing in the media game. Y'all gotta know this because a lot of these dudes have loyalties that go a long way. I'll tell you another person who I'll give you two. Damon Jones, a clear LeBron James industry plant. What's that big goofy dude who played for the Cavs back in the day? Ryan Hollins, an obvious LeBron James industry plant. Because it's been several times when dudes have pressed him about the GOAT debate, and he talked himself into a box and he just started smiling because he knew that he couldn't even say nothing no more because he would sound even more ridiculous even answering the question. So you got to keep your head on a swivel with these dudes, man. I want to make a video about LeBron James industry plants, and Shannon Sharp is and Nick Ryder at the top of that list. You better believe that. But anywho, so Terry Rozier is always going to be who Terry Rozier is, man. An undersized guard who likes to score, who doesn't quite fit the criteria for a point guard, can't quite play the two. So he's just so talented, you got him out there. So I don't understand. Let's just say Shannon is right. How does that help the Lakers?
That doesn't help the Lakers at all. And let's say if they want to trade for him for Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward, you got an injury-prone small forward in Hayward, who's Mr. Glass. That's his nickname. And then you got Terry Rozier ghosting it on defense. How's that going to help the Lakers?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was the Lakers, I'd just take James Bouknight. I'll take him and JT Thor over them. Younger, a lot of potential. And speaking of James Bouknight, this is how you know James Borrego is not a fit for this team. In a blowout game against the Magic, and then not only just that, but when they got blown out against the Heat, they were playing backups. How in the hell are you playing Cody Martin 27 minutes, but you're playing Bouknight 4 minutes?
That's crazy.
The number 11 pick. And James Bouknight has been balling in the G League. So much so, people are saying, why is he in the G League?
Yeah.
Oh, King C says, how Coach Joe doing? Oh, Coach Joe doing great. Talk to him every day. He's just been busy, but we're going to be doing some streams as well. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. He's in the building.
Big
What's
Flight.
good, my brother?
Yeah, and shout out to Smooth Mix Light Skin Goodness. That is the funniest name of all time. Smooth Mix Light Skin Goodness.
Put the year down too. 97, folks.
Specifically when it was the smoothest. I like that. That's a funny ass name. Rozier is a hooper, exactly. Not a designated position. There you go. It's always been him. So that's why the Celtics they weren't tripping getting rid of Terry Rozier. And a lot of people were mad. I'm like, listen, man, that team ain't going nowhere with Terry Rozier at point guard. They're going nowhere fast. Trust and believe it. Trust and believe it. So if he's that talented, he is that talented. Hold on. Don't get it twisted. He is that talented. But if it's, a person that's that important to your team, you're not letting him go because he came in. He was the backup for your man's who you back up? Kyrie, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he's supposed to be the incumbent, point guard, but you can see real quick, nah. You need a guy who thinks like a point guard, especially with Jaylen Brown and especially with Jason Tatum. Those guys are walking buckets, and you got to get them the ball. And so, and salute to Boston doing so well this year because they were doing absolutely horrible. When to start the year off was this last year? Am I thinking too far back? Last year they were pretty terrible.
And shout out to Coach Udoka, man, who's doing a great
Oh
job.
yeah, Emi Udoka, absolutely.
And this is what happens when you give brothers an opportunity. And this is a brother who is not only excelling
Mm-hmm.
in his first year, but he's making a point that if you give me an opportunity, I'll coach well. That's what you're supposed to do when you get that type coaching the Celtics. And I know I don't really like the Celtics. I got too much Laker in me, brother.
I'm with you.
But I am happy for Coach Udoka,
Absolutely.
and that's what Charlotte needs to be doing. Charlotte needs to be building around young talent. They need a younger coach who can grow and let LaMelo be LaMelo. I'm not saying don't discipline. You discipline. Your stars. You hold them accountable. When you're a star, that's a responsibility of that position.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't do is handicap a player and then play them spotty minutes and don't play him like a franchise point guard. You see how John Morant's development? John
Absolutely.
Morant, his development is ahead of LaMelo because his coach believes in him. The team is built around him. Do you know that the Memphis Grizzlies are 20-2 without John Morant? They still have a winning record with John Morant, but that's
Yes.
just a plus.
Well,
That's how you do
well,
it.
well, I'll take it this way too. That shows that they run a cohesive unit
Mm-hmm.
regardless. And that means define roles. Guys know where they need to be. So when the star player isn't out there, they still can execute. And with the problem with a lot of LeBron James executed teams, assembled teams, let me put it that way, is when he's out, there's no production. Because you basically, what that tells me is you're not allowing your coach, and I know I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but I'm making a point. When you allow your coach to coach, establish a system, guys know expectation, guys know how to run it, you can have a guy like that out and still perform at a high level. I could think about a time when Tibbs, I think he had Derrick Rose go down and he had like John Lucas III starting at point guard at one point as patchwork, and they still were playing at a pretty high level. This was maybe about 6-7 years ago. So it is great to see because I love fundamental basketball. Y'all know me, I'm old school. I'm Warren Tate Walter. Like I love to see traditional basketball because it works. So when I watch Memphis play so tough and play so well without their star guy, it's because A, the star player allows the coach to coach. B, the coach has implemented a system that guys can do and do reflexively, which means execute at a high level. And it's just synergy. And I just don't think nowhere Russell Westbrook has gone, oh, well, I was just talking about LeBron. When he's off the floor, there's no synergy. And damn sure we talking about Russell Westbrook, there's no synergy. So it's very hard to win on that level if you don't allow a coach to do what he's there to do. And I just don't see how a James Borrego can rein Russell Westbrook in. And I'm going to talk about a few things of what I've seen trending with Russell Westbrook in a second, but how does that even make sense? Now, I heard a counter argument. Let me throw this in there, DJ. That to bring Russell Westbrook in is like a cap dump, basically, where you get rid of two bad contracts, as in Rozier and Hayward. Russell Westbrook expires in a year. You eat that year, and then you got all this money free on the books. How do you feel about that theory?
I don't care how much of Rozier and Gordon Hayward not being a fit. I don't care if it's a cap dump. Don't get Westbrook at all. It's nothing personal. Again, I'm just saying it's not a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
It is just not worth it. And Michael Jordan, I know you don't have a good reputation of being a good owner. I know this, but still, use some common sense. You're smarter than this.
What, DJ? I look at it this way: why waste another year, LaMelo?
Right. That's what. If they do this move, they're doing that again. They're gonna waste his year. Because Westbrook, he's gonna keep the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
LaMelo's not getting the ball that much if Westbrook is on his team.
how else does he know how to play? Like, he is literally ineffective if the ball is not in his hand. We all saw what happened this year when he catching and shooting. Everybody in the Lakers, in Staples Center, I still call it Staples Center. I refuse to call it the crypto.com arena, whatever the hell it's called now. But he's shooting the ball. Everybody, no. When have you ever seen that in an NBA game, bro?
No, I've seen Laker fans say, no, they're holding their breath. They're like, oh, dun, dun, dun. That's what.
Was that whole Alfred Hitchcock?
I know you're not a big LeBron fan.
Yeah.
But kudos to LeBron, because this is the first year I've seen LeBron not react too much. This is the first time I've seen a player like Russ, but any player, take away shots and possessions away LeBron. Westbrook has mastered that.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron would be asking for the ball, and Westbrook like, no, I'm gonna shoot it anyway. I'm gonna take a crazy layup anyway. I've never seen that with a LeBron team.
Yeah, because if you know, I mean, and I'll give Westbrook this credit. He ain't no hoe. He an alpha personality, like we all know that. And I'll give him credit. He won't bow down to anybody, no matter if they're clearly better than you. I.e. Kevin Durant, i.e. Paul George. Well, Paul George was kind of on the way up, Westbrook way down. So maybe maybe Westbrook still was better than Paul George at the time. But like KD, every time they played together, he was better than him. But still, Russell wanted to dominate as an alpha. Obviously, LeBron still building better than Westbrook. So he's kind of showed a propensity to still, well, even Bradley Beal was better than him by the time he came to the Wizards. And he still kind of was, the alpha in the room. So, I'll give him credit for that. Because a lot of guys, I think, our boy Zoe, if Zoe had a little bit more of that in him, I think he would get better results on the floor. But take nothing else from Westbrook. I don't want to see Lonzo play nothing like Russell Westbrook, just a little bit more alpha in the mental department. But so yeah, I'm with you, and I'm not a big LeBron James guy to your point, because this year he just played absolutely no defense, man. In the defensive win share category, oh my God, man, I actually want to pull this up. I'm glad you brought that up. So this was about a month ago in defensive rank. Look where your boys at. 439. They tied for 439th in defensive win shares. That is horrible. So, Charlotte, do y'all want this coming over there? Y'all want this coming over there? Poor defense, poor offense. And since we're on the subject, I want to pull up a few things about his offensive output real quick, and DJ, I'll let you cook. All right, so I showed y'all at first the can you guys see the stat line, or is it still on the NBA? Let's get off that one. All right, okay, let me reshare that screen. All right, so Russell Westbrook stats. All right, so this year he's putting up 18, 7, and 7. So don't sound so bad, right? Let's keep scrolling right. Shooting 29% from three, atrocious. Shooting 66% from free throw, atrocious. Win shares are 1.7 rather. His PER is down. And if you look at, so it says 7.4. His turnovers are at 3.8. And let's see, what's this other stat that jumped out at me? His 3-point attempts are down. So that's good. He's shooting like his career, I think his second to career worst, third to career worst at threes. And so what that all shakes out is a very, very inefficient player. And you don't bring that into a talent that is trying to get better, right? A guy that's trying to learn to play the position at a high level. You don't bring in a guy that's going to stagnate that or stymie that. DJ, lead the floor, man.
Yeah, it's going to be. It will be a combustion of epic proportions if the Hornets make that move. The analytics that you pointed out, hoop jargon, are spot on. Again, he's showing you the defensive inefficiency, the turnovers that Westbrook have. Film points that out as well. you don't make this move. Now, I saw a comment who
Okay, what you got?
J Boy says whether they trade for Westbrook or not, this news shows that the Hornets are looking to move on from Rozier and Hayward and give Melo and Miles the leadership of the team. I'll say this. I would like them to make that move, not with Westbrook, but to move on with Rozier and Gordon Hayward, but not for Westbrook.
Yeah,
You might have. Here's the thing: you might as well keep Rozier and Gordon Hayward if that's the case. Think about it.
yeah,
Keeping Rozier and Gordon Hayward is better than trading for Westbrook. You know that's bad if I say it.
yeah.
And I've been going at those two players.
This is true. Scared Terry, man. Hey, well, I mean, listen, dog. At the end of the day, at least I guess the selfishness and inefficiency that Russell Westbrook has doesn't equate the selfishness of Terry Rozier and the inefficiency of Gordon Hayward, of what they bring, as a tandem. It just doesn't, because how can I put it? Russell Westbrook in one of my series, and I hate to be shitting on him, but I mean, whatever. the stream go where it go. Russell Westbrook is just he's such a magnifying presence that his aura, his reputation is going to demand a lot of attention. You can't say that about Terry Rozier. You damn sure can't say that about Gordon Hayward. So meaning that the attention for the ball, no pun intended, is just going to be so much on him. It just is, because he demands that type of cachet, as it were, because he's always been that kind of guy. Now, unless he just publicly said, like, listen, I know where I am right now. I'm going to take a step back and I want to develop this guy. Kind of like with Isaiah Thomas, it took him like getting cut like 8 times to figure this out.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? That you're not the guy anymore. Now he's humble. If you remember 4 years ago, he's like, oh, they're going to bring the Brinks truck for me. No, they're not, dude. No, they're not. That's a hard lesson he learned. You understand what I'm saying? So Westbrook has never shown contrition like that to say that, okay, I'm about to be a different iteration. Now I'm going to be Derrick Rose now. I'm going to be, like guys who kind of fallen off athletically but bring another element to the game. He's never shown, like, hell, you can't even get him to admit he messed up in the basketball game. We've all seen the little what they call it, the press game, post game commentaries when he bring the players up and they talk.
Right.
He never would take blame ever.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
You see that? I like that right there by Andrew.
What'd he say?
Hayward and Rozier for Miles Turner and Malcolm Brogdon would be a perfect
Oh,
trade
yeah,
for them.
yeah.
Man, sign me up for that.
Hell yeah.
Now, are the Pacers that dumb? Is Rick Carlisle that dumb to do that trade?
Hell no.
He's been around it. He's an NBA champion. He's won a championship as a player with the Celtics. He's won it as a coach with the Mavs with Dirk and company. He's not that dumb to do it, but if he is, let's say the organization makes that move instead of Rick Carlisle, maybe that can happen because they got an affinity for Indiana players. And as you know, Gordon Hayward is from the state of Indiana, played college basketball at Butler College in Indiana. So maybe, but yeah, Miles Turner and Malcolm Brogdon. The good thing about Malcolm Brogdon, he's a very efficient player, one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He could get 20 like that without doing too much.
Got a smooth game to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Former Rookie of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon, I must say. So yeah, man. Now I will say this: Indiana has an affinity to bring in white guys, man. And like you said, him being from the area, maybe the Indiana cornfield guys that will make this trade happen. Because yeah, that'd be pretty idiotic. But I think go ahead.
Can you go to the last thing Jay Boy said? He said, DJ, you rather hold on to Hayward and Rozier for 2 to 3 years and keep the power struggle instead of 1 year of Westbrook probably getting bought out and traded. I would rather have Gordon Hayward and Rozier leave, period, and not have Rozier. I want both. None of those players on the team.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But if you're gonna trade Gordon Hayward and Rozier just for Westbrook, even for 1 year, that's disastrous. 1 year of bad play can stunt growth. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just for 1 year where LaMelo had to take the back seat and not be able to play a more progressed game. 1 year can destroy someone's game. Hoop Jargon is a hooper. He knows this. You got to think long and hard by
You
doing
do.
these moves.
You do, because you don't want to bring in.
I'm trying to
So,
tell him, Hoop Jargon. I'm trying to tell him.
bro, it's like because you have a very delicate situation right now. Was you have a Ferrari, man? Just it don't know how to go top speed yet. So you don't bring in an old model Ferrari, to be the show. Because I mean, Russell Westbrook used to be a Ferrari at one point. Now
Right.
the tire a little flat, the bumper a little dinged up, the clutch a little messed up, right? So you don't bring that in to teach a new Ferrari how to be a Ferrari. You gotta let that thing just run. You gotta let it run, man. We don't need this old war story. Oh yeah, back in my day, man, I used to race in the Indy 500. Let that Ferrari run, like it run, man.
Like, back in my day.
And not only he gonna give you back in them days, hey man, I still can bust your ass though. I still can beat you racing. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that in your locker room, man. Just let that Ferrari run, dog. Let it run.
We got someone to show love, man. That's what it's all about. Antler, and I'm not even surprised.
My
The
God.
realest.
Hold on, you know what that gets you over here on this show, man. When you come in, I gotta get my boy Dollar Bill. Yeah, money. Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
It's gonna be trouble. Shot time.
I'm Dollar Bill. Shot time. Pay country boys nothing.
If you raise up on me, it's gonna be.
Hey, if y'all new to the show, that's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
That gotta be the most quotable movies I've ever seen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Welcome to the stripping business.
You got Jamie Foxx in there, you got Lisa Ray, you got Bernie Mac, you got John Amos, who was the father on Good Times, you got Faison Love. Man, what else do you want from AJ Johnson? It was a star-studded cast.
Man, that was a hood classic, bro.
Hood classic. Produced by Ice Cube, as a matter of fact. Ice Cube in the movie. So yeah,
do you know that Master P was in the cameo of that movie? I didn't realize it until I got older.
I do. He was dancing. He had Diamond's little cousin dancing on him. I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's Pete.
Yeah. He can talk to me and Uncle Luke in there. Uncle Luke can talk to me. He got punched in the back of the head. That's my movie. But I digress, man. Y'all hit that like button if y'all liking what's rocking with me and DJ. We going old school, man. We used to do this all the time. We should struggle stream. We both can come up to this.
Struggle stream, man.
Struggle streaming, boy. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
And Sub, I seen your comment. I know you want to rock about LeBron and Westbrook, so I'm gonna drop that in about the 1 hour mark. So anybody else who want to come on, you can do that. DJ, I don't know what you got going, but you let me know.
Yeah, I'm about to get a haircut, brother. And,
yeah, man, get chopped up. See, that's the life I ain't got to worry about no more. I'm bald out here in these streets.
Hey, man, everybody can't afford. I mean, not afford, but everybody can't sacrifice going that Michael Jordan route, man. That bald ain't for me. I ain't got that bald head shape right.
Hey, I thought I didn't either till I had no choice. I was like, damn, this is what it's come to.
That's why I got to keep hair in my head, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, ride the good battle as long as you can, my guy.
But I'll leave by saying this, bro.
All right, what you got?
Charlotte, man, for the past 2 years, even more than that, I'm just talking about when LaMelo's on his team. So far, you've underachieved.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there was some Hornet fans, not all, not the real ones out there. Shout out to Eternity, man, and they're the real ones. Someone said on Twitter that this is a successful Hornet season because they're 2 games above 500, even though they're the 10th seed right now.
Mm-hmm.
9th and 10th seed. They're a low seed right now. And my reply was, if the Hornets don't win not only a playing game or a playoff series, it's a failure.
Especially how they started out.
Right. It's a failure because they sacrifice development to play older guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't get that benefit of the doubt. See, if Book Knight, LaMelo, JT Thor, Miles Bridges, and let's say PJ or somebody else, right? Or the young guys. If that was the lineup, then they would have the excuse, well, they did lose a playing game, but they're rebuilding and they're building it the right way. They can't have that luxury now.
Mm-hmm.
They sacrifice development. And Book Knight, I'm not saying Book Knight should have played 30 or some minutes, but the fact that they couldn't even give him 15 to 20 minutes when they needed bench scoring made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But Charlotte Hornets, for once, can you stop being a flea market of the NBA and get some real damn talent on this team? For once. That's all I have to say, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, DJ. Appreciate you coming up, bro.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Hoop Jargon, man. Warm Take Walter. I'm letting you know, if you listen to his show, you got to check the emotions out the door.
Check him at the door. We don't need him because we don't want him.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up,
Freaking
man. Appreciate you.
Hoop Jargon like what's that kid from the Five Heartbeats, Eddie Kane. No, I don't need you. I'm Eddie Kane.
That's pretty
Nights
accurate.
like this.
That's pretty
I'm
accurate.
out, bro.
Peace out. Y'all saw to my boy Raw Truth Media, aka DJ, man. He rocked the swag content heavy. He rocked the Ball family content heavy. So y'all mob over there, man, once the stream is over. And J-Boy, let's see. J-Boy says they wouldn't be taking a backseat move or something similar means they're getting the full keys. Think of what the Rockets did, prioritizing youth. Well, yeah, the Rockets kind of because you got John Wall sitting there in the barracks as well. So Rockets are just trying to just tank and develop talent on a low level and basically get a good draft pick coming up. And so it's kind of a little different from what the Rockets are doing because the Rockets are just in full retreat mode. Or retool mode. Let me put it that way. J-Bo also says now we'll say they're gonna be ass next year, but they'll have to cap space for the future. Yeah, and I guess me and DJ's contention is: we really want to see that though? Because I don't want. Well, again, I don't want anybody going through what Russell Westbrook brings. And again, I'm not Johnny Come Lately. Y'all look at my old videos. I got a 5-part series about is Russell Westbrook done, and I lay it out there. I lay it out there that this dude, everywhere he goes, he makes this stuff go down because he's just not a winner. I'm sorry. And DJ, he had a point saying he's not a loser in the sense that he can't take a team to the playoffs. He can't win games. And that's not what I mean. What I mean is literally like when it's time to win meaningful games, when it's time to execute, when it's time to outthink opponents, he's shown he can't do it. I'm sorry. He can't do it. And not only that, he's shown his ego is so big that it's probably the reason why he can't do it because he thinks he can just run through walls. How do we know this? When they lost to the Houston Rockets. No, I'm sorry. When he played for the Rockets, when he lost to the Lakers, when the Lakers won the bubble championship, he was yelling how some dude couldn't guard him when they was in the elimination game down 20. It just shows how he thinks. He thinks about individualism and not the team dynamic. And in my opinion, you just want to steer clear from a guy like that. So I'm not mad at E-Black saying to Sacramento because I think they're going to lose De'Aaron Fox in the upcoming years. So why not bring a guy that's going to put some butts in some seats, who's a Cali boy and all that? You know what I'm saying? I don't. If I were the Sacramento Kings, you can't get no worse than what you're doing. Kings, man, that's such a poorly run organization. Goodness gracious. Y'all talk about the Hornets are bad. Kings, they twice as bad. The Kings, when the last time the Kings been in the playoffs? Can somebody tell me the last time the Sacramento Kings been in the playoffs? Like when they had IT and Boogie Cousins, I think they still were on the outside looking in. So somebody look it up for me. AD says Hornets love sideways moves. Yeah, and the Hornets, the Hornets don't know how to make a splash. And to their credit, maybe they don't have the ability to. Maybe people don't want to go play in Charlotte. But you would think people want to go play for Jordan. So maybe his reputation is that bad. They're like, I don't want to touch that situation with a 10-foot pole. And let me say this too. And let me go to the banner. This kind of had me thinking too. And that's why I'm playing that project, Pat Don't Save Him. me go back to my Project Pat song for the new people now.
Some more shit, man. I'm gonna kill that nigga that I'm gonna marry. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I love her, man.
Man, I'm gonna show you this thumbnail, and this is kind of the sentiment. Don't save him, MJ. Uh-oh. Don't save him, man. MJ, don't save him. Because here's what's going on. Russell Westbrook is signed to Brand Jordan, right? So wouldn't there be a vested interest to promote your guy, to promote, his brand, the shoe sales, or what have you? So it's not as far-fetched as it may seem on inception. The MJ stepping in trying to save, your boy Russell Westbrook. And I just hope that doesn't happen, man, for the sake of LaMelo Ball, for the sake of any Hornets fans out there. I promise you, man, that's not what you want to see. And me being a Lakers fan, it's been a rough year. And I said it's going to be a rough year. And everybody kind of catching on now, but it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and drop that link now since DJ stepped off a little early. So if y'all want to come on and rock, Sub-Zero, if you're still out there, if you want to rock. And just, what your opinions are on this situation. If you want to counter, I kind of want your counter arguments. If you got a case that they should do it, I want to hear your case. J-Boy said, fact, I hear you, Hoop. I was just trying to show that kind of makes sense and shows they're moving forward with Melo and Bridges. No, I appreciate the logic, man. Like, so one of my biggest things is I don't have to agree with you, with your thesis or with your end result, but I can listen to the logic. The logic, like hell, because at the end of the day, I'm up here talking, DJ up here talking. That don't mean it's going to go that way. That's just reality. Reality is it's not going to go that way. Well, it's not guaranteed to go that way. So something I can say, oh, nah, that's stupid. It's dumb. And they mess around and do it. Then what do I look like? I look like an idiot saying that your opinion is dumb. I just don't agree with it. So, no, man, it's nothing at all with that, man. I like hearing other people's perspectives because that gives me more perspective. And I may hear something I didn't even think of. I'm like, oh, damn, yeah. That was a good point. That was a good point. And I was trying to find that LaMelo pass me the other day when he did the spin move and then he did the drive middle and then the kick over to the wing. It was so fluid, man. I just like, if I'm Charlotte management, like, why would you want to hinder that development of that? Especially watching that year that he put out again. And we just talking defensively too, because you're going to need him to play defense. This is what Westbrook has put up this year. Defensive rank is 439. 439. Like, come on now. That's either like you have no principles or you're not even trying. Antoine Sanders says Russ ain't done, my guy. He just been playing out of position this season. Well, let me ask you this, Antoine. What is your definition of done? Answer that for me. What's your definition of done? Because in my opinion, he's been done 4 years ago. But my definition of done may be different than your definition. So clear that up for me real quick, and then we can rock from there. Because Russell Westbrook's done, and I'll tell you mine. My definition of done is you do not play at a high enough level to win basketball at the highest level. So Russell Westbrook's going to give you flashes of greatness because he's just a super athletic guy. He's going to give you that. I'm not taking none of that away from him. But as far as being a point guard that's smart enough and that is witty enough to play at the highest level, he ain't give you shit. It's just proven. That's proven. The proof is in the punch, man. And I've already laid down most of those, but I made a 5-part series. So if you want to hop in, if you want to kind of get game on what I mean by that, I literally got 5 episodes of Russell Westbrook is done. So, but if you want to challenge that, you get the link. We can talk about it. So we're approaching the 1 hour mark, almost 1 hour mark. So the link is open. I want you guys to tell me if I'm off base. Hoop, you tripping? Hoop, Russell Westbrook ain't that bad. He'll come on. He'll mentor. He'll mentor him. Okay, so you're saying he'll give you 20 and 10 still? Well, this year he didn't give you 20 and 10, but you said he out of place. Okay. I mean, well, here's the deal with me. I don't just rattle off stats and think stats mean production because you can hook and crook your way into stats. What I care about is your production. What I care about is what you do as it pertains to winning. And I'm sorry, you can have that 20 and 10 and be a loser if your defense looks like this. Just like you can be going for the scoring title and your team is not in the playoffs and you're the leader and your defense looks like this, LeBron James. So, but a LeBron fan, he's averaging 31 31, 10, and 8. So what? Your team is out the playoffs. So what? And I don't want to hear injuries. That's part of the game. And I will say, LeBron has been one fortunate guy where injuries has never really been a part of his dilemma up until about 4 years ago. But this is what most of your great players have gone through with these overcoming injury situations. I can remember most recently Kobe with him tearing his Achilles and guys constantly going down, and you still got to figure out a way to work it out. People want to give him excuses, dude. So LeBron don't get none from me. That's how the game go. Just look how he played without LeBron. He plays the same low IQ, high octane basketball. That's cool. That'll get you stats. It doesn't get you wins. So, I mean, again, I'm not enamored by numbers. It sounds like you are, and that's your prerogative. You can do that, no problem. But I go about how does those stats translate to you winning? That's all I care about. Are you playing the intangible aspects that are conducive to winning, i.e. defense, i.e. are you passing guys open? Not just passing to get assists. Are you passing guys open? And that's not what Russell Westbrook does, in my opinion. And shit, it ain't my opinion. He's only has a whole career to show. All right, let's see. The Hornets has so many young people develop and to go forth from there. Why take someone who's going to keep the younger one from playing time and making their self-esteem low? I mean, again, who has Russell Westbrook ever developed? Can y'all start naming some people who he's made better? How does this make sense, him going to mentor LaMelo Ball? And I'm not saying that that's what they're saying, but I mean, if we're reading the tea leaves properly, that's what he would go there to do. He's not going there to start over LaMelo Ball, right? So how's this work? How's this work? J-Boy says, I doubt Westbrook even going to be on is probably going to try to agree to a buyout. Going to play. Well, and that would be good for Charlotte. Now, I'm rocking with that. If that's what the case is, I'm rocking with that. They get him to buy him out, I am on board 100%. I got no objections to that. Bring my man Sub-Zero up here, man. The show about to take a raw turn. Just let y'all know. So, what's up?
What's up, man?
What's the deal, man? What you got?
I'm on the treadmill, dog. I'm just listening.
Okay.
Doing my thing. And I'm going to tell you like this. I know y'all think it's all hate. It's hatred for LeBron. And it is. I don't like it. But that being said, what I really struggle with, how in the hell would any team take Russell Westbrook right now, given the last 7 months, the last, whatever, since January, right? February, since December. They have dragged him, talked about his turnovers, talked about his stupid play. Why would you bring him to your market? But for one reason. Mm-hmm. And I think it's to relieve LeBron James. The only problem is now they're finna get rid of Anthony Davis. I don't see anybody in free agency that will give him a championship.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody in free agency that will make them as good with Anthony Davis as they are without. And I know you're like, what do you mean? Because Anthony Davis has been sick. I mean, not sick, but just unhealthy. But if you look at it, when Anthony Davis is on the court, they are a better team. Without Westbrook, if they had the defensive pieces with Anthony Davis, they were a championship contender. They really should have left the team the way it was. You can't just make trades every summer. Mm-hmm. Had they just kept what they had last year, they probably would have been better off. But they didn't. They feel like they always got to go with this arms race. Now he's trying to talk about getting Steph Curry, which is not going to happen. That's what he would need to win more championships. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. That's what he would need. Right now, I just don't see anybody remotely wanting to play with this guy. Nobody says it, but that's what it is, man. I mean, I'm a fair guy. He's one of the greats. You know, I don't know about top 5 anymore. I don't, because the more you cower, the more you duck and dodge, that counts off majorly. When you duck and dodge people at center, then you're not what you claim you are, which is able to check all 5 positions, able to play all 5 positions and defend. You're not. You duck and dodge heat. These are facts. We knew you were going to miss certain games. You could predict the games he was going to take off over the last month because they were tough games at center. We knew he wasn't playing against Philly. I could set my clock with this guy. We know what he's going to do. It's not. And so my thing is with Westbrook, if Charlotte takes Westbrook, that would be just a favor to the league Michael Jordan's given. But Michael Jordan has shown a history of doing favors for people in the NBA. And it's almost like Charlotte is a dumpster for the rest of the league, taking these players nobody wants. Gordon Hayward, truth be told, shouldn't be getting paid the money he's getting paid right now. I went to a Hawks game, and I just saw them jacking up threes the whole time. And I just was not impressed at all. Yeah, statistically, they say the game is better because you can score. You know, if you hit 40% of your threes, you're going to beat a team. But DeMar DeRozan seems to be disproving that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bulls.
Absolutely.
Exactly. What's his face? What's the other guy for New Orleans right now from Portland? CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum, yeah. A
master of the middle game. Right now, at this point, I don't see any free agents he really could have went for. He could have went for Bradley Beal. I don't think Bradley wants to come to the Lakers right now.
I can see that.
I mean, is there anybody that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis, to his stupidity, shitted on going to Boston when he probably would have won a championship in Boston and would have been the centerpiece of the championship. Had he stayed in New Orleans with Zion, he could have pushed Zion to show. And with CJ right now, that team is presently constructed. If Zion actually tries to play and quit trying to scramble to go to New York, which is going to destroy his career, that's what it's about to do to him. He doesn't know that. New York is different. Those people are different in New York. I don't know what he's thinking, trying to go to New York, but had Anthony Davis stayed there in that situation, he still would be better off. But what did he do? Went to La La Land. And then he's not working hard. That's another thing. They say LeBron wanted him traded because he was out of shape. How you out of shape, dude? You got a lot to prove. They just gave him the keys to the kingdom too early. And he's lazy, which is most players' problem. Most people, I think the NBA problem now, these people getting paid too much money. You need to go back down to 15, 20 million. Because then they'll be a lot more hungry after taxes. They'll be more ambitious for the money. These cats, you give a guy a role player $25 million on a second, third option on a team like Draymond. Look at him. Look at Draymond. Last time Draymond was really hungry, playing his best basketball, was before he got that big ass contract.
Yeah, we first starting because he didn't start for not Miles. I saw Miles Turner right here. For Mark Jackson, he didn't start for the Warriors then. When he first got that starting role was when you saw Draymond at his best, at his absolute best.
Exactly, because he felt like, you know what, I'm not in a position that I need to be in, so let me work hard. I'm small, I'm undersized. They questioning my ability. Should I be power forward? Am I good? I'm getting in the car. Give me 1 second.
Yep. And so while Subs getting in the car, and J-Boy says to the guy talking on reason for his move is cap space and the clear up roles for the team. I promise I'm looking for Westbrook actual piece. I hope you're right, bro. I really do. Because that makes sense to me. I really hope you're right.
What did he say?
He said the only reason that they were thinking about making that move is for cap space and not for him to actually be a fixture on the team.
Okay, I get that. Why is it beneficial for Charlotte? Because you're saying they're going to clear up cap space with the players they got more long-term contracts with?
Yeah, so it could be a two-part thing. It could be A, that Westbrook, you let him play the year out. He has a 1-year contract, expiring contract. Or B, you just release him and then money's off the books.
Because they got Gordon Hayward.
Well, now, so essentially we are guessing that Hayward would probably be a part of the trade to the Lakers. Hayward and Rozier are rumored to be part of the trade to the Lakers.
Okay, so and you get Westbrook. They don't have lockdown defenders. Rozier's undersized. It just doesn't make sense. I understand they're trying to get rid of him, but why is it that LA wants to do that? Why would LA sign, Gordon Hayward? What is he going to bring? What is he? I mean, Gordon Hayward is going to look like trash with LeBron James. I mean, probably.
Because
Go
we
ahead.
have no, I'm a Lakers fan. We have no choice. We have no draft picks. We got all this money on the books. We damn near should take whatever.
But I'm saying you're about to drop 10 million to whatever you about to drop for Westbrook to Gordon Hayward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a guy that's gonna be just as trash. I don't know what people thinking. Gordon Hayward is not gonna look good with LeBron James. Plus, he's not known for his defense. And then you getting the guy Teddy Rozier, who's a little scrappy guard. Yeah. You might as well keep Isaiah Thomas you probably get him for cheap. I don't really see. And you've locked those guys in longer. You still don't got no draft picks. You still trash. You need defense.
Well, at least
so if you're going to waste a year, go ahead and play 1 year with Westbrook, and then you free them up, or you free up $45-50 million on your damn cap space. I'd rather do that. They worried about trying to just win now. They're not going to win. You're not going to win a championship. Why sign Gordon Hayward for another however many years he got left? Why? I get what he's saying. And you might be right. I'm not even trying to say the dude don't. He may be thinking that way. But we got to get out of the frying pan. When you getting out of the frying pan, you jumped in the fire. That's what got him in the fire. You lost last year and went out in the first round because Anthony Davis got hurt. You're impatient, so you trade off your best defenders for Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You get Westbrook, it doesn't work. Oh, we got a $45 million. Let's press it because it's LeBron. If LeBron wasn't on this team, you wouldn't make that decision. Because LeBron is on the team, they're trying to compensate, and we can't have LeBron looking bad for another year. We got to do something. No, make his ass stay, which is what Barkley said. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I do believe if you're lazy, he said if you're lazy with 200 million, you'll be lazy with 25 million. Let me tell you something. I think a lot of these players are motivated by money. They're motivated by fame, their social media image, and so these players are motivated by money. When you pay somebody, it's a such thing as I've owned businesses, and this is how black people are controlled by the Democrat Party. Not to make this analogy, but hey, they control our black ass because they give us just enough to be loyal. They don't ever. That's Machiavellian. So what I just gave you was some Machiavellian shit. It's a book called The Prince.
Yeah.
In that book, he says you never give your constituency enough where they don't need you. These dudes are making $50 million a year before they get one endorsement. That's too much damn money. I'm sorry, it just is. That's just my mentality. And so you got James Harden sign a $240 million contract and quit the next season, like just out of shape and quit. Too much money. If his ass was making $12 million, he wouldn't have did that shit. Because by the time them taxes hit his ass, he ain't got but $6-7 million left. So he'll be like, shit, I got, you know what I'm saying? He'd have worked harder. But when you got that kind of money, you can live off interest. You can make millions a year just off the interest of what they paying. You could probably spend $4-5 million a year just chilling without, you know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if a person's lazy with that's what I'm saying. These guys, I think you're going to get more and more spoiled players doing load management. You're going to get more and more players, and everybody, well, it's about the players. Well, the product is suffering. Because what's happened, just like when you have what hurt General Motors when they went bankrupt, and word got out, these companies started leaving Detroit. Why did they leave? Because the union got together and strangled the life of the actual, goose that lays the golden egg, which is the actual business itself. You cannot let them overrun you and overtake you. You have a weak commissioner. This next collective bargaining thing needs to be changed. All this load management, signing of contracts, that shit Ben Simmons just pulled. Bro, if Ben Simmons had any type of balls and showed up, they wouldn't be struggling. The Brooklyn Nets wouldn't be struggling to have to go on the road to try to win, play in a play-in game and try to go on the road to win a fucking title all the way through, which is impossible. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so, because that's what I'm saying. But if Ben Simmons had just showed up a little bit, he hurt his back. These guys are spoiled brats, man. It's not jealousy. People, you're jealous. I mean, I'm 47 years old. I don't have no desire to play in the NBA, but I do want a good product. If people are spending their money, and that's what I don't see. I don't see that. I see AAU teams being put together, people stacking teams and making excuses talking about, well, they had a super team with some 35-year-old players back in the 90s. So don't say nothing about the top 2 players joining on the same team,
Well, let me say
which is
this
literally
too.
what they're doing.
Let me say this. So King Sons, so it's not from a standpoint of hating, it's you throwing out a hypothetical to get a better product. So in essence, what Sub is breaking down for you is that it's not the fact that you want them to make less money. It's just like, damn, if that's gonna get them to play better, I'd rather see that. That's what
that's not hate, but I mean but that's typically, and I'm not no disrespect. That's how a lot of people, when you say something about LeBron or you bring up a fact about LeBron James, I've been called that. I did a video, a guy called me a hater. I was going through statistics and facts, and he said I was hating. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's not, look, if you got guys signing a $200 million contract, showing up out of shape, we hadn't seen that. We hadn't really seen too many guys do that. When we saw dudes do it, like I think Albert Hainsworth, there's a such thing as just too much money for certain people.
Albert Hainsworth.
Because I guarantee you, if James Harden ass was working at a factory, would he do that shit? No, his ass would get up, but he'd be like, man, I got to do this, man. If I don't do this, I ain't gonna be able to do this. I ain't gonna be able to do that. You could give guys enough money to have a comfortable lifestyle and be happy, but giving a guy $50 million plus another $60 million in endorsements, he's making $100 million a year in endorsements and everything. These guys are they different. They like, man, shit, I make $10 million a year in interest. Why would I, they don't care. They don't look at it. Why would Ben Simmons lose? How much did he lose this year?
It's like 20-something million or something like that.
Who does that? You just left money on the table? And I'm hating because I'm like, bro, get your money. Show your ass up. I'm limping down the motherfucking court. Yeah. If I'm hurt, then I'm like, look, man, you see I'm hurt, man. Then it's different. I'm like, okay, he hurt. But I don't see that shit. He was out of shape. He wasn't, like, you can see the dude was out of shape. He didn't want to get out there. He probably knew he was going to look bad. He's like, man, just take the rest of the year off. That was somebody told him. And he did it. And he making hundreds of millions, man. That shit got to stop, man.
King Son, that's not what he's saying. He's just saying, like, in a perfect world, how he would like it going, because the guys make so much money that they can afford to, like, kind of drag ass.
Well, I would take a $10 billion contract. I take a $2 trillion contract. That doesn't really disprove these motherfuckers being lazy, though. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about laziness. You take the money too. Yeah, I would. I would take the money. Yes, I would. I ain't a fool. They took the money. I'm saying the business owners of these teams have basically, and this is a microcosm of the black community in the sense that we are very socialist in our mind. We think a certain way, right? And so when it comes down to it, the worker is costing the business money. Just like Colin Kaepernick, right? I couldn't stand Colin Kaepernick because of what he did. I know I'm a coon, right? But the thing is, I understood why they got his ass up out of there. You costing me money. I'd rather you not be here and people just, we make some money. And because my thing is, and people are like, well, no, he did a good thing. It's not the NFL's job to fix the black community's problems. It's black people, specifically mostly black men. It's our problem. It's our responsibility, not some damn white teen owner. His job is to make fucking money. I don't blame him. And so when it comes to these teams, it's not going to give players heart. Less money's not going to give players heart. Motivation I make your ass go to work, don't it? You can motivate people with money. Money is a motivator. Now, you can't tell me that, because guess what? I get my ass up. I work from home. I get my ass up at 8 o'clock and I dial in and I go to my meetings because I'm motivated by money. We can't sit up and act like money's not a motivating tool. It is, man. Money motivate. But I'm sitting right here right now watching a woman change a trash can at a gas station. You think she want to smell that funky ass trash can? Why is she doing it? Money. You can motivate people. Now, if you lazy, yeah, but I think I'm gonna tell you something. We see that shit. So why was Draymond not lazy when he got a couple of $1 million? But then now I ain't gonna say he's lazy, but he's just not the player he used to be. Why did his 3-point shot fall off? Because he stopped working on it. Why? He stopped working. He was a better 3-point shooter.
He got his contract finally.
He got a big ass. He got $100 and something $1 million contract. All of a sudden, his numbers dipped down. Players weren't doing load management in the 70s and 80s. I mean, the 80s and stuff. All of a sudden, load management is normal now. Like, I love Kawhi Leonard. That nigga took the whole fucking year off. Like he out there shooting around like he gonna show up. This nigga ain't show. He one of my favorite players. Just chose not to show. These players, they need to renegotiate this shit, bro.
I want to address this one right here. See, when you got money, you don't have to be a slave. Now, see, here's where the conjecture comes in. Well, here's where the hyperbole comes in. So nothing about playing hard at your craft is being a slave when you're getting paid the upper half of 1% of Americans in this country. So I don't like when this comparison comes in, because then you're trying to equate being one of the most privileged, most highest level, most talented individuals. You're trying to equate that to slavery when you got to understand this, my man. It's a privilege to play in the NBA. And there's guys who play at a very high level who never get an opportunity to play in the NBA because for whatever reason, it just ain't shake out that way. A guy you need to look up is Lenny Cook. Lenny Cook in high school was better than LeBron James. And whatever life decisions he made or whatever coach gave him the yay or nay, he didn't make it to the NBA. And there's plenty of Lenny Cooks out there in the world. So for you to be at the NBA level, you got the highest of the highest privilege and status in everything, tax bracket. So to insinuate anything you're doing on that floor as slavery that's wild reckless, my guy. That's wild reckless. So you said when you hold money over somebody as a form of slavery, when you deprive people from their rights.
I mean, dude, so when you get a check every Friday, is that slavery? I mean, and if it is, why the fuck won't these dudes making $100 million start their own league? I'm with that. Start your own shit and you can do what you want to do.
No, that's always mine.
You can't come in somebody else's shit and make the rules.
Yeah, that's my solution always is. If you don't like the system, don't be a part of it, because it ain't run by you. But I don't even want to make it about that. I think the hypothetical is kind of taking a life of its own, and I don't want to make a stream about that. What we're saying is, what I want to say is guys need to come on with it, man, because it is a diminished product, and like you said, it looks like AAU to me. And I'm not gonna lie, man. And for those who are new to the channel, I played Division I basketball. I played professional overseas, and I'm a hoops purist. I really am, through and through. I love good basketball. I don't even care if the team I don't like, but if I like the way they play, I'll watch them. And it's very hard to watch this style of basketball, this brand this year, and especially watching a guy, let's bring it to the subject matter again, like Russell Westbrook. It's very hard for me to watch this because it's not conducive to winning basketball. And so I would hate to have that thrown over to LaMelo's camp or LaMelo's situation and mess that up. And I know my guy, where he at? J-Boy been saying the whole time it's just a cap move, and I hope so. I hope it's a cap move, because I would hate for that to taint what's going on in Charlotte. We're potentially going with Charlotte. We're bringing a guy over like that who's stuck in his ways, and a guy that just refuses to change.
I mean, they won't make the playoffs this year. I mean, if they get him, they will not make the playoffs. I mean, even though I don't like Gordon Hayward, I would rather keep it like it is and add one or two pieces than that. But my thing is, why would the Lakers sign Gordon Hayward, who is really on his last leg and not going to be a good defender? Neither one of those guys. That's what got them where they are. Just rough it.
Oh, I think your audio went out. So, but Big Spell says,
My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
I was saying it's this win now because LeBron's their attitude that got them in that situation. One more year with Russell Westbrook will not kill them. The reason it's so bad is because it's LA, which is what LeBron wanted. He volunteered for that. He knew what he was getting into. He know what LA is. He know that's the largest non-soccer franchise on the planet. I mean, he knows that. Outside of football, soccer, the Lakers is the 5th largest game organization on this planet, and he knew that. So you wanted to be that big. You want to make yourself big as Michael Jordan, as far as in people's minds. So you went to LA, and now you're there, and you're struggling. And so they're like, okay, we got to win now. If I was Rob Pelinka, I wouldn't make any changes, but I would change out the peripheral pieces. But Russell Westbrook would not move. Unless I'm getting Jimmy Butler, then it makes sense. But who the hell why would they do that? Or if I'm getting Kawhi Leonard or somebody, then yeah, it would make sense. But I wouldn't, ain't no way in hell I sign somebody that's not going. It's like, these dudes trash, you getting. I ain't trying to be funny when it comes to when you talking about when I say trash, they'll bust my ass, but shit, they'll probably bust my ass. But what I'm saying is, let's not act like you're getting some lockdown defender. I can see if it was like a Tony Allen type or Bruce Bowen lock. I'm like, oh, okay. If they were able to get Caruso back and your boy Lonzo Ball, he played defense. He's a top 5 in field goal percentage right now. Okay, now I see I see that's a good decision. But getting Gordon Hayward, that's like a linear. That's a side move. It's not move up. Now, in fact, it's locking you in. Yeah, it's gonna free up a little space, but you still locked in with Gordon for. I think he like what 30 million. You locked in with him. So what you got down 15 million? You locked in for 2 more years. So now the year after that, you still ain't gonna be able to get nothing. At least when Westbrook gone, you got $45-50 million you can take and do whatever you want to do with it.
Well, I look at it this way, man. I'm a Lakers fan, and we're screwed anyway. Any way possible. And I said this before the season started, and people calling me a hater at the beginning. I'm like, how am I a hater? I'm a fan. I've been a Laker fan since I've been in 8th grade. But I'm not going to lie on basketball. When I see the basketball didn't add up, the basketball didn't basketball. So I just sit back looking like Nostradamus right now because, I mean, the parts got to fit. Now, I will say with Gordon Hayward, the only thing I would give him that may work is that he can spot up shoot, even though that's not what he want to be relegated to. But he can be that, with LeBron, he has a way of kind of getting that archetype of player to strictly do that. So maybe he does that. So maybe there's something to extract from that. I just think anything's a better fit than Westbrook, but I'm with you. I wouldn't want to be locked in too many years with Gordon Hayward. And I do want to address this too. Omaha KC King says, Russell Westbrook has never missed the playoffs in his career. He helped Bradley Beal lead the playoffs too. Too much blame on Russ. Well, a few things. Most former MVPs don't not lead their teams to the playoffs, so I'm not giving him credit for that. Like I expect that from a guy of his ilk.
No, I agree with him 1,000%. I think Westbrook, he got his turnovers under control in the second half of the season.
Well, yeah, of course.
And they kept getting blown out because LeBron, they would be up a bunch of games.
No,
every game that they were supposed to win this year, they would be up. And LeBron will start jacking because he doesn't want to move and play within the offense because he had.
Well, I was about to get to that. Yeah, so no, I'm with that. I'm not putting everything on Russ. What I'm saying is, well, let me address everything he said about the Wizards situation. Well, the Wizards got in the play-in game. Let's be honest here. So whatever though, I'll give you that. Again, most guys of that ilk, they lead their teams to the playoffs. Like former MVPs or that caliber of guy, your team's in the playoff the end of your whole career. So you don't get kudos from me for that, especially if we're talking about the beginning of his career. You had James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Kevin Durant, right? So I mean, it doesn't really.
I think Russell Westbrook even this year was like 18-7-7. I mean, shit. I mean, he really didn't fall off. He got his turnovers down. He had some bad games in January. They made Skip Bayless had a lot to do with it, looping it, showing it over and over. But after that, bro, from like January on down, like I think I was on your channel. Me and this brother got into it way back, like 2 months ago, back in February. From that point, Westbrook has been playing 0 turnovers, 2 turnovers, 1 turnover, 5 or 6, 6 assists. I mean, he has been playing good basketball. They had a few games Westbrook was going good, and LeBron just went away from him. Stopped giving him the ball. He kept shooting. Look, I gotta call a spade a spade. This guy ruined this. LeBron ruined this season. Probably, if I had to put it in percentage, I'd give LeBron 85% of the blame. Now, and I don't like his ass. If he really was the reason that this team went to the playoff, I would give him his credit. I've done it before. I did it. I hadn't done it in about 10 years, but you know what I'm saying? I'll do it. When he was in Miami, that's when he was balling. When you stop playing, literally stop, and you talked about the win share piece. Somebody I was listening to talked about his win share percentage and how he's cost that team when he's on the court. He cost that team defensively, and these teams started like zeroing in on him.
Who's that?
And he was a target defensively.
You talking about LeBron?
Yeah, I would do it. I would go at him. They would literally go at him.
The both of them are just as bad. So this is up until the last month.
Well, yeah, they both were just as bad, but they went at him because Westbrook. They would put Westbrook on the bench. They benched Westbrook. Think about it. Westbrook would be on the bench and they would lose whenever they would get in the game. LeBron would go sit down. I can send you countless videos.
You
You know
know,
we
I ain't
got
caping
that
for
bread.
LeBron. I'm just saying Russell Westbrook defense is equally as bad, if not worse.
It was bad, but he's only 6'3". His defense ain't never been just.
I got you.
We talking. So Westbrook's never gonna be in the conversation for GOAT. This guy's in the conversation for GOAT. Yet the last half of his career, he refused to play defense. Right, and he chose free agency. And right now, the Lakers, because they just to get the media off their ass, they're gonna make some hasty decisions. That's gonna fuck the Lakers for the future. Because you're gonna make Gordon Hayward, you gotta get rid of him. He's $30 million. You gotta get rid of him. So guess what? He's gonna sit there. You're gonna have this guy on your roster. And I think his salary goes up when you get him. So you're gonna take him for now. If Gordon Hayward was on his last year, you'd be better served to keep Gordon Hayward. They're not, he's got more years on his contract. So that little 10, 15 million, 8 million you about to save, is it worth it? When you can just go 1 year, then the next year you ain't got nothing to pay nobody. And you can go get 2 more pieces. Yeah, LeBron's gonna, they're gonna have a fit and scream Rob Pelinka's name. I wouldn't fire Rob Pelinka. I would not fire Pelinka because it's not his fault they got Westbrook.
I want to see what he can do without LeBron before I can really pass judgment on what he, because we know LeBron is like more or less a de facto GM. So,
well, honestly, look what he did. He got look at the guys he drafted. Look at how they're playing. That's how good he was. That's why I give Jerry West credit. Jerry West probably the best GM I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, my lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean,
he proved
so Jerry West. I mean, he built shit everywhere he go. Memphis,
Lakers, Clippers.
Shit, he made what's the name good? Golden State.
Yeah.
He insisted that they get Klay Thompson. Yeah. And they didn't understand why.
I have to agree.
And so you got to give this guy the foresight. He saw what Tracy McGrady was going to be. Tried to get him for Kobe. Him and Kobe together would have been. Kobe would have been the greatest of all time had they did that. It would have been, and T-Mac would be a top 5, top 10 player, minimum. If because Shaq would have had 2 dogs he can rest on. Because Kobe would have made T-Mac play some real lockdown defense. Because you know how Kobe is. And T-Mac wasn't going to just lay down. That wasn't his spirit. He got injured later, but he used to go at Kobe. So that just goes to show you that, Rob Pelinka didn't do too bad as GM. I don't think he did. I think he's got a bum rap with your boy LeBron, which Magic pretty much put it on out there. He pretty much stopped them from getting DeMar DeRozan. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you a dirty little secret. DeMar DeRozan was going to be trash too with LeBron. DeMar DeRozan would have been out the league by now. They'd have been talking about sending his ass to Europe. And this year he might get him a couple of votes. He would have. He was actually in the MVP discussion earlier.
He was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what happened? LeBron is the problem. That's the problem. You call me a hater. He don't like LeBron. He's a LeBron hater. You got me. Shit. You got me.
With me though, I'm not even a hater. I don't like the LeBron James experience. I don't, because it's the same thing over and over and over. And I think Brian Windhorst. It's bad when Brian Windhorst of all people started to say disparaging things about LeBron. And what he said was, after 4 years, he pretty much exhausts teams out in 4 years. And I got back to thinking, I'm like, yeah, Miami, check. Cleveland Part 2, check. Lakers right now, check. I mean, damn.
That's it. And now he's threatening the Lakers that if they trade him, nobody's ever going to come here again. Like, who the hell do you think you are? That part, like, that just goes over people. Man, fuck that. I don't own the team. Bro, you got a dude in the league, been paying 19 years. Literally, it's issuing proxy threats to team owners because he doesn't want to be traded because of his ego. And if you do, I'm going to punish you. Like, bro, this shit is out of control.
He talking about some Machiavelli and shit.
Yeah, like this dude is like mafia. Like, what the fuck is this? And my thing is, if I say something, like, we all see this going on. When Shaq issued that threat, that was clutch sports. That was Rich Paul and LeBron on the phone with Shaq. Man, if we do that, we ain't sitting. Man, we gonna tell all the athletes not to come there. Nigga, it's the Lakers. People don't like your ass. People will come to LA, bro. But because of that they stopped talking. When Jeannie Buss after the All-Star break, called him in the office and went off on him. That got leaked out. She got him on the phone. And she went off on like, dude, don't just like, what are you doing? This dude's ego is beyond control. Somebody needs to save him from himself. If he wants to win, he would go to Miami right now. That's the team that would get him some more chips. And they got enough space. But Pat Riley probably don't want to put up with his ass.
I'm sure you're done with him.
But if he want to win more chips, that's probably the best destination for him. Back to Miami. But he wouldn't do that. And so that's the only thing that'll save him.
I just think, like, why is the expectation that he's still going to win playing the way he plays? Now, I understand everybody's so enamored with the offense.
Because he won in 2016 playing the way he played.
Yeah, but
he wasn't playing defense in 2016.
I'm with you, but you're slower. You got a more plotting game now, and you're 38.
He doesn't think that, okay, J.R. Smith got Bogut out the lane, and that's really why you won that championship. That's the one reason he got that championship. He could not get Bogut clogged the lane. He knew that. That's why, and his shot wasn't falling. He started having those games where he was getting all those points when Bogut got hurt. J.R. Smith falls and rolled. Yeah, J.R. Smith fell and rolled at the man's knees. I mean, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Go look it up. Yep. That helped him. That's really why he got 2016. Well, the Draymond suspension. Yeah, Draymond suspension, but the media helped him do it.
Yeah.
Wojnarowski, hey, he swung it. Man, you need to talk to the front office. The media is literally helping this guy, bro. I don't like that. I don't like the era of the media not respecting Giannis right now. Literally putting him as a second-tier player. Like, that shit J.J. Redick said, I never respect J.J. Redick again.
What'd he say?
That dude told Embiid, he said, yeah, man, you got the number one stars in the league. You got Durant, you got Steph. He said, okay, he named off somebody. He's like, and to Embiid's credit, he was like, well, what about Giannis? Giannis is not on that level. He's second tier. This dude is a world champion with Middleton as his second option. Finals MVP, got 50 points in the finals. Literally the week after that, he went and beat Durant at Brooklyn. Then he went to and blocked your boy shot, made clutch plays, and y'all don't respect this man. And you keep trying to prop up LeBron and say LeBron should get MVP votes, and I don't like that shit, bro. I don't like it. They literally ignored Devin Booker until a week ago. I'm like, damn, they got the best record. If that was LeBron on that team right now, same exact stats, and they had that record, LeBron would be a runaway MVP right now. You saw it the year LeBron complained, which was 2019, 2020. LeBron said he made a complaint about the MVP vote, right? If you go look at the Lakers roster that in their scores and their stat sheet, bro, Anthony Davis led in all categories but assists.
Mm-hmm.
In every other category, Anthony Davis outplayed him. Anthony Davis was 6th in MVP vote. LeBron was 2nd. This shit, the media has really become a cancer. The media, and I honestly think the attitude of the players. I know these people don't want to believe that. Man, let that man get his money. Let him get his $100 million. Okay. Let him sit out and miss 20 games a season. Anthony Davis sprung his ankle. Bro, I done sprung my ankle before. Mm-hmm. I'm a baller. I played overseas. I played in college. I played ball until I was 36 years old. Let me tell you something. I sprained my damn ankle in my 30s and tie that bitch tight and keep playing. This dude is young as hell, sprains his ankle and sits out 2 months and gets away with it. No, bro.
Yeah.
I don't believe that shit. Don't tell me a sprung ankle gonna make you sit out 2. He basically cost them their season. They probably would have at least got the 8th seed. They would have at least got the 7th or 8th seed if he had at least came back after a week or two. But now he want to wait till 2 days last week to come back. The season over now. It's over.
It's a play from the same playbook, man. It's damage control, it's image building, brand building, as it were. And I think a lot of people just kind of starting to peep it. Let me see. Ann Learn says LeBron is is playing to build up his stats. He's focused on and you know what? And I think that he decided not to go for the scoring championship because I think his team
that was a smart move.
Yeah, I was about to say his team felt the tea leaves, and they knew that them missing the playoffs and him winning the scoring title, that would have
the media was threatening him
up.
Stephen A. said it. Stephen A. said he was going to get his ass.
I knew something.
And they said Frank Vogel just said, hold on. Frank Vogel just said he might play. We don't know. We don't know. He still might play. That's what they're saying. They just said that this morning. So he's still contemplating, should he go out there and try to get this scoring title? And how do we know he's going to have 40-point games? He's going to try to. It's not like he's going to go and let's say it's a blowout, they up 30. He's going to play and get his 40, bro. He's going to do it. He's going to jack it, even if it take them down from 30 to only up 2. He's going to play for his damn 30. He got 40. He got to go for it. Damn, facts be damn. Situational. He's really pretty much playing like Westbrook. The same shit that they say Westbrook is stupid. He don't do this. He don't look at the flow of the game. So is when you go in the game to get 40 points on purpose. Mm-hmm. That's he's pretty much costing the team. You don't play defense. You point. What did Malik Monk say? You should have did a video on that. Malik Monk said all these old players, when they make mistakes, they just point the fingers. They don't accept responsibility. I mean, is that not it? Is that not LeBron? Is that not what he's doing?
I mean, whole career, man. It's been a whole
that's my thing, bro. Like, I was a fan of LeBron. And I'm gonna tell you what I think LeBron would have been. LeBron James is that guy that would have won one or two championships in Cleveland. If he'd have just stayed there and just got one piece, like let's say a Chris Bosh, he'd have got one championship. You win 7 games with Boston. All you need is one, like a Chris Bosh type player. That's all he needed. And I still would have been, okay, Bosh is a good player, but nobody said Chris Bosh was a top 5, top 3 talent. So if you'd have got Chris Bosh, you still would have got there. You probably would have still had enough pieces to beat Boston, and you'd have got you a couple of championships in Cleveland. Then you can leave and whatever. But when you go and you can't get over the hump, you know what? I take that back, because had he got Chris Bosh and got to the finals, he would have nutted up in 2011 regardless. That was just going to happen.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, so he really had that. You could see he had it. And that's what they saw in him. As a guy that's a ball player, you know what, like when you talk about heart, like I've seen guys, like I had friends that played ball that were high school All-Americans that could get 20, 30 points on any given night, right? But people would say they don't have no heart. And when I was young and I had never played the game and I was learning, I didn't know what this. I'm like, well, hell, he had 20 points. I would say that same thing. Until you play that high school rivalry where this guy, the other guy on the team is an All-American. The other guy on the team averaging 30 points. Then you see the fear. You can see it. Now, you only as a warrior, as somebody that's been in the trenches themselves, you can see that fear. You can see when it's clutch time, when it's time to face that guy that's the dog. When Kawhi Leonard's checking into the game, you're cussing, right? I just went over that on my channel. Please go watch if you feel like it, right? If you watch the game where Kawhi Leonard was checking in, fuck, why would you do that? Why would you say fuck because Kawhi Leonard coming in the game? That was the one time he showed who he really was. And my thing is, I did. Go watch the video I did. I'm surprised you ain't. Now, I celebrate he getting out of the playoffs about 45 minutes. So you got to scroll past the first 45 minutes. Because we turning up. We playing music. We dancing and shit. I'm clapping in the background. It's going to take you about 45 minutes into the video before me and Sir Tice get on there and we start talking. But go into like near the end, you'll see where I showed the clip of him cursing when Kawhi Leonard got back in the game because he didn't have his stats that he needed. And they were getting beat, and Kawhi was a problem for him. Instead of you saying, let me figure out how to beat this guy, he cursed. Which shows me that lack of, there's something on the inside that he misses. That's why people don't like his ass. If he was a fighter, I wouldn't even be on this thing. If he was a real fighter and didn't give a fuck and went out there and laid it all out on the line and played and gave and sacrificed like Kobe did where he hurt his hamstring that year, if he did that, they would have made the playoffs this year, and I wouldn't have had shit to say.
Yep.
Gotta go, man. I hit you back. I hit you up.
Bet that. And
All right, bro.
learn. All right, man. Appreciate you, sub.
All right.
So yeah, Sub-Zero, man, he come on here speaking his truth. I let Sub rock, man. He like to just go. So I let my guy rock. And learn. I like your comment with the every day it be LeBron the first or whatever. Man, I made a meme. I'm gonna try to. That's why I've been kind of quiet. I've been trying to find it. I made a meme about 10 years ago that went like dumb viral, and it chopped off part of my name. I tagged it with I geotagged it with, well, not geotagged it, but I tagged it at Hoop Jargon. And I'm trying to find it. It's like ESPN be like, and it's talking about LeBron. And it's like, it's such a hilarious meme, and people just cop. Oh, I think I found it. Did I find it? Did I find it? Yeah, it's just so funny because it's like apropos about how the media, like you said, the first to do all this ridiculous shit. Damn, I can't find it. Let's see if I can find it by end of the stream. But when the media just obviously trying to make you like this dude, it's kind of like it's hard for you to really latch on to fully appreciating the guy in moment, because it's like you're being coerced into liking him. And like I said, I'm a huge purist, dog. I don't like that. I don't like when you tell me what I should like or what I should be enamored by. Let me watch it and I'll make that decision. But yeah, like you said, all the first to this, first to that, I think I found it. Boom. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. I found it. So I made this meme like 10 years ago. And again, it went like dumb viral. I ain't get paid $1 off of it back then. Nobody know how to monetize shit like that. So this one right here. See if it, yep. All right, so it says ESPN be like, you see it says right there at Hoop Jargon. So I made this meme a long ass time ago. And you can see it's kind of pixelated because everybody kept recopying it and phone quality kept destroying it. But I made this. It said LeBron, the first player after 1973 to have 5 points and 3 rebounds in the first 6 minutes while shooting 68 from the floor and the weather is 75 degrees. You know what I'm saying? And so it's funny because it's kind of, again, it's apropos to what we see in real media. So I thought that was funny you brought that up and learn, because that's really what we're force fed, you know, as patrons of basketball, man. And so let me read a few more of these comments and then we're going to peace out, man. I appreciate all y'all who tuned in today. I thought this would be an hour-long stream. We're ebbing towards 2, but, you know, I rock how the show rocks. And Larry the Bird says LeBron missed over 20 games this year, and last AD played 40 games and 36 rush wins. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm along the school of thought. Like, I'm not – well, you blaming Westbrook. Again, I think he deserves a big portion of blame, not all the blame. I think Sub-Zero laid that out pretty well. But one thing I don't do is let the school of Westbrook, the Westbrookites, absolve this man from blame, because I'm sorry, the play is porous. And when you tell me he went from 5 turnovers to 3 turnovers in the course of a month and a half, I'm sorry, it should have already been corrected. You shouldn't have been averaging no damn 5 turnovers in the first place. So I don't give you points that I would give to a player that's just developing, a young player. You're supposed to have already had that shit corrected. So that's what I assert. LeBron won 2 rings in 07. Now, the 07 year, I don't know about that one, because they played with the Spurs and they got their doors blown off. I couldn't see that happening. But 15 is definitely, yeah, without the injuries to Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, yeah, very possible. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They learn, like, it's funny, man, how they try to force feed you that stuff, man. But, man, hit the like button way out. Hit the subscribe button, man. I got a busy Friday ahead of me. Thank y'all for rocking with Hoop Jargon, man. If you're not done so again, share the live. I thought it was a very riveting one, especially with Sub-Zero come in. I just let him rock, man. Sub-Zero is a very passionate brother. But appreciate y'all, man. And let's let Kendrick Perkins take us home, since LeVar brought us in. Till next time, I'm out. I thought I was out. Shit, which one is it? There we go.
Going to shout out to Hoops Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoops Jargon. They've been getting at it. Shout out to Hoops Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoops Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoops Jargon. Shout out to
Hoops Jargon.